Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Last night news broke that Grayscale purchased XRP and added it to their large cap investor fund. This is fascinating because you know what they didn't do? They didn't start back up their XRP trust, which was terminated after the SEC decided to sue Ripple. Now, why might that be? I have a theory on that I want to run by you folks, and you tell me what you think about this. But if my theory ends up being correct, it's actually a good thing. But regardless, it's fantastic to see that Grayscale has gotten back into the world of XRP. In fact, they booted a separate cryptocurrency from the large cap fund to make room specifically for XRP. So whatever you think, if you're one of the people, whatever that's feeling a little bit down about XRP price, I'm not that way. XRP price is what it is. It moves with the rest of the market. I know you want it higher right now, and you see Solana pop off, and it makes you feel sad, and you're missing out. Set that aside for a moment, because what I'm showing you right here is that on an institutional level, Grayscale, as I always expected would be the case, is back in the XRP game. And I think it's just going to get bigger for them. And so if you're one of the people that's fearful, understand that, about XRP specifically, understand that Grayscale, one of the most well-known institutions in the world of crypto, is not afraid. They do not share that concern. So I'm going to share with you the specifics as well as my theory as to why they have purchased XRP. They put it in a fund, but they haven't started back up their XRP trust. And it's probably a good thing. Well, it could be anyway. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, just as a friendly reminder, here's the specifics. You remember the scary news 3 years ago, right? Here you have from Cointelegraph, January 14th, 2021. Grayscale Investments liquidates all of its XRP while it still can. Dun, dun, dun. So what a scary sounding headlines. You gotta get out of that XRP thing. What an S-word coin. My, how things change in 3 years. Remember back then it was going to zero and all that? It was going to be out of the top 10 in short order. None of that happened. None of that happened. The adoption just increases, actually, from a developer perspective, and just keeps moving in tandem with the rest of the market. But it reads as follows. Institutional crypto fund manager Grayscale Investments has begun the dissolution of its XRP trust in response to the Security and Exchange Commission's December 2020 lawsuit alleging the XRP token is a security under U.S. law. Okay, now, I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page before we go forward, because the specifics of this actually materially matter. The XRP Trust was an investment vehicle for people who wanted exposure to XRP specifically XRP, but didn't want to go through the trouble of purchasing it themselves, maybe creating a Coinbase account. So there's a market for it. You did have to be an accredited investor, though, in order to get into the XRP Trust. But actual XRP was held. And so just want to make sure everybody is aware of that important detail. You'll see as I circle back around to this topic a little bit later on the video why it matters. But anyway, piece continues. According to an announcement published Wednesday, Grayscale decided to dissolve the trust in response to the spate of XRP delistings from major crypto asset exchanges after the SEC's complaint was filed. Grayscale said, and I quote, "It is likely to be increasingly difficult for U.S. investors, including the trust, to convert XRP to U.S. dollars and therefore continue the trust's operations," end quote. All XRP held by the trust has already been liquidated, with Grayscale intending to distribute the net cash proceeds to XRP Trust shareholders after deducting expenses. The trust will be terminated following the distribution of said cash. And so look, after this happened, I said the whole time throughout the lawsuit, Grayscale is going to be getting back into XRP. And I said, why wouldn't they reboot the XRP Trust? And again, I want to do this in a particular order, but I will say, I'm not convinced necessarily that they will reboot the XRP Trust. Just hang tight with me, though. So then we also had this. I'm not sure if you guys caught this. This was at the end of 2023. XRP ETF may be on cards as Grayscale sponsors XRP price display together with Bitcoin. And I don't need to read through the article. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this. But there was this screen grab that was shared by XRP community member Chad Steingraber. And it shows, it's a still from CNBC. And it shows the price of Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP. Now, that in and of itself wouldn't be attention grabbing, but what got this to go kind of viral within our XRP community is if you look in the top right, you can see that this was sponsored by Grayscale. And so here's what Chad had to say. Tell me with a straight face that Grayscale isn't about to reboot their XRP ETF funds. And so I will tell you with a straight face what my honest reaction was. It was, I don't know that this means anything. Because just the fact that it's sponsored by Grayscale, I don't have information to tell me that Grayscale picked those 3 coins to be displayed on the screen. In fact, the way sponsorships work is, you'll get a sponsorship on a particular block, whatever it may be. It could be a podcast. It could be national television, as is the case here with CNBC. You're sponsoring a segment, whatever it may be, or a program. And then you don't decide the content of the program. It makes sense that they'd be interested in sponsoring something that's a crypto segment. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're choosing what crypto material is in the segment. So could it mean something specifically? Could there be something that we're just unaware of? Yes. Does it mean that? I think people are getting a little ahead of themselves going quite that far. But that's just because there's a lack of information. But even thinking through that on my own, I was still thinking, yeah, but Grayscale is going to get into like XRP. Like I had no doubt that they'd ultimately get back in. I've always held that position. I've said that many times on my channel. I never wavered on that. I was just saying this specifically is this an indication that's going to happen? I don't know, maybe, but I don't have any proof of that, so I'm not going to assume that it is. I mean, I guess maybe. But again, knowing that that's not how sponsorships typically work, I was like, eh. So that's what was speculated in the article there. And so I don't think it's crazy to speculate that it could have meant something about, an XRP ETF or whatever. But I just personally wasn't completely convinced. But then we get to the news today here. Again, Grayscale adds XRP to its GDLC fund. Is XRP ETF next? And totally fair question. Absolutely. Totally reasonable to be talking about this. Grayscale has re-added XRP to the Digital Large Cap Fund, one of its largest investment products by assets under management, sparking anticipation of a possible XRP ETF product in the near future. The digital asset investment firm disclosed this in a press release last night. Notably, the announcement detailed a quarterly rebalancing of some of Grayscale's investment products, including the Grayscale DeFi Fund, the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, and the Grayscale Smart Contract Platform, Ethereum Fund. The Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, which aims to give investors exposure to some of the largest crypto assets by market capitalization, contained Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, Polygon, Cardano, and Avalanche. However, the company disclosed in the latest announcement that they had sold off some components to procure more Avalanche tokens and XRP tokens as part of the quarterly rebalancing move. Subsequently, they have re-added XRP to the fund, replacing Matic, which is Polygon. So Polygon's out, Matic is out, and through an XRP. Love to see it. Now, mind you, nothing against Polygon. I actually hold it. It's just that XRP is my largest holding. So put all the money there. That's just my personal bias, right? So happy to see that. That's great. And again, I'm not surprised to see something like this. So real actual XRP is being purchased right here. And so the more demand there is, the better. The more they'll have to purchase. But again, this is just for accredited investors. The big money, the real big money, would be in an XRP ETF getting approved, which I think is probably inevitable. I don't pretend to know when or who would get such a thing first, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that there would be companies vying for that, especially with the legal clarity. Grayscale, these people are not idiots. It's not that they wanted to get rid of their XRP fund. They didn't want the trust. They didn't want to get rid of it. They felt like they were in a position where the only reasonable thing looking, from a fiduciary perspective, the most responsible thing is to take care of the investors that put money in it. And there was a real concern that liquidity would dry up in the United States. I totally get it. They were put in that position. But of course they came back, and it makes sense for them to come back here. So the big question is, great to see him add this, but, and I'd actually brought this up in recent months, where the hell is the XRP trust? Why don't we have an XRP trust? That has not come back. Could it come back? Yes. Sir, I would love to see it if it comes. If we see news, the XRP trust is back, great. My speculation that I was teasing at the outset of the video, though, is that instead of the trust coming back, I think they're going to skip, potentially anyway, they could just skip right on over that and go straight for an XRP ETF. Because look, this fund, like this digital large cap fund, it's already in existence. Throwing XRP in, not a big deal. There's already demand for the fund. Whatever they throw in, the investors are probably like, okay, cool, that makes sense. Nobody's going to be squawking at XRP, especially since it's 2.54% of the entire market cap of the fund. It's nothing crazy, right? Nobody's going to be squawking at that. Their customers undoubtedly will be perfectly happy. So That's not surprising. But then if you're talking about booting back up an XRP trust, that takes real work. I can only imagine what it is. Like I don't come from that world, so I can't. I don't know exactly what that would look like. But you need to pitch the product. If ultimately we're in this world where we're about to get our first spot Bitcoin ETF, people are entities are going for ETH trusts also, or not trusts. I said the wrong thing. So we're in the world we're getting the first spot Bitcoin ETF inevitably. I mean, it seems like it's days away, and then the entities are also going for ETH ETFs. Well, why are we going to start up a trust when the big money is with the ETFs? So why not just skip over that? Why even structure the thing from a legal perspective and have all the lawyers do the work? They could draft it up and then get all the money in, only to then turn around and then convert it to an XRP ETF. Because the ETF is what matters, because that's what gets traded on major stock exchanges like New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, so on and so forth. So then it's open up to everybody and not just accredited investors. That's where you want to go. So what's the point if you're going to create an XRP trust if you know that what you actually want is an ETF? So the fact that they're throwing XRP in here in this fund, which already exists, that makes sense. And if they want, they could convert this into a fund. Because look, they've made no bones. They've been very public about it. Their whole strategy from the beginning with their Bitcoin trust was to convert it into an ETF ultimately. That's been the whole strategy. This is not a secret. So the fact that they're throwing XRP in something that already exists it makes sense, rather than starting up a brand new XRP trust. So my speculation, and it is just healthy speculation, is that they may not start up the XRP trust. And I could be wrong, but I'll just speculate it might be the case that they won't. They'll skip right on over that and go for an XRP ETF. They're obviously not shy about XRP. They just bought it. Their customers have exposure to XRP now, today. They're back. Like it's done. So I would love to see. Now, if we do get a trust, because I could be wrong, I'll applaud that. I'll make a video being, hey, this is still great news. I don't know what their thinking is. Great. Still would be happy to see it. But given that they haven't done that, and it's been a good half a year since XRP's had legal clarity, and they're obviously very comfortable with XRP and they know it makes sense, that's why I'm speculating that perhaps it's the case that instead what they're going to do is just go straight for the big money, go straight for the ETF. Now it makes sense. So we'll see what happens. And again, I admit it's just speculation, but that could be the case. You guys let me know what you think about my theory. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.